Hey, how about them tops, son?
All day, SEC boys. SEC, they supposed to be SEC. Crazy all day, baby.
You're listening to the RedOUT Podcast.
So like a lot of you, I get those annoying phone calls, the Medicare, Medicaid. But the real wake-up call for me was when I ordered 2 computers from Amazon. But I didn't order 2 computers from Amazon, you say. Oh, somebody else did. Yeah, that was a close call for me. I realized that my personal information was out there, and I was vulnerable. But how are so many people able to get a hold of my information? One reason might be irresponsible companies. For example, AT&T revealed that over 73 million customer records, both former and existing, were exposed on the dark web. They recommended those affected use strong passwords, monitor account activity, and consider credit freezes or fraud alerts from credit bureaus. That's a lot of work for us to do because one company couldn't keep their data safe. This is why I use Aura, the sponsor of today's video. Aura does all of this for me, and best of all, it's all in one app. If my info was compromised in the AT&T data breach, I wouldn't worry because Aura would already be protecting me. Don't sacrifice your privacy because it's a chore to keep up with it. Aura makes it easy. Aura is always on, doing the hard work of keeping my information safe. I value my privacy, and so should you. You guys should check out Aura. You can go to aura.com/RedOut, or that link is in the description below to start your free trial. Thanks to Aura for sponsoring today's video. And let's get back to that Hilltopper action.
Hello and welcome into another RedOUT Podcast. I'd like to thank our sponsor, Aura. And I'd like to give a big shout out to our newest patron, George Pennington. Thank you, sir, for joining us. We appreciate you. We appreciate your support. And if you'd like, you can donate to help our podcast at RedOUT or patreon.com/RedOut, and go to our page and look for the little white squirrel. And there's 3 different tiers you can join, but every little bit helps us out and helps us upgrade. For instance, George, you helped me get a light. So now we do really seriously, we do appreciate you all's support. But let's jump into it, Matt. You got some volleyball news you want to talk about?
Yeah. So WKU volleyball is the kind of the main sport that's been doing some things. Obviously, we have women's soccer as well, and they're going through their season and they're okay. But volleyball seems to be the major news of the day besides football. WKU volleyball, they are 7-6 right now, but they've played this absolutely brutal schedule. They've kind of beaten who they were supposed to, and they've lost to who they probably shouldn't have lost to. They've played number 9 Kentucky, Michigan State, Tennessee, Marquette, Dayton, and Illinois. Those were all losses against quality opponents that could be ranked at some point this year or are currently ranked. And so absolutely brutal schedule, but they're going to be battle tested, and they probably won't lose another game until the NCAA tournament, in my opinion. They could, I guess. Certainly can. It's always possible. But they actually seem to have a better team than most years. But the schedule is so much more difficult. I was trying to look up RPI. I don't think they've posted that yet. They'll probably start sometime in the next few weeks that they'll put that out there. But I would guess WKU's RPI, even though they're basically at 500, strength of schedule is probably in the, top 50 in the country. I would think it's been a pretty brutal schedule, maybe even top 25. So they've basically swept everyone that they were supposed to. They've only dropped a couple sets against some teams that are pretty inferior. But just wanted to give everybody an update. Don't give up on volleyball. Make sure you go and support them. Travis Hudson, I believe, is now the winningest coach in any sport in the history of WKU on the Hill. I believe he's passed E.A. Diddle, which is tough to do. And so just an amazing man, an amazing program, and he's done such a good job with the Lady Tops. So wanted to give them a shout out and give some details on them. They did just have the Alyssa Kavanaugh Classic, and they swept Arkansas State, Eastern Illinois, and Austin Peay. And they now start conference play against Jacksonville State on Friday the 27th. That'll be on the road, but make sure you go to the Kennesaw State matches on October 4th and 5th. So check it out. Make sure you're tuning in to WKU Volleyball because they will be good as always.
Yeah, 7-6. I mean, it sounds a lot worse than it is for volleyball because of the dynasty that he has created. I'm pretty sure I saw him on the sidelines. Was he on the sidelines Saturday night for the football game?
He may have. I didn't notice.
Of course, you were at the game, so you weren't watching. But the rest of us were getting the treat of Terry Obie and the other announcer. Love Coach. I
saw some of the replays with Obie. Oh my Lord! He needs to sharpen up a little bit on his color.
No. Terry Obie is perfectly fine. He is like our John Madden. Okay, he comes up with some of the craziest stuff, and it's hilarious. Like, I love Obie to death. Don't get me wrong, but like, I think you can make a drinking game out of it. Like when he comes up with something, you could just be like, "Oh, shots," but love it. You get to the fourth quarter, and you probably be very far gone.
There was something on one of the like main plays or whatever, like where the the announcers can be remembered for their calls, and he goes, "Yeah, they ran quarterback power. I don't know what happened after that." Like what?
Okay.
What do you mean you don't know what happened?
Okay, so I think as a WKU fan, I'm getting used to the C and B announcers because at one point, like the announcer goes, "Are we still on the air?" And I was like, "What do you mean you're not on the air? Like, what are you doing, dude?" And then of course they went up to the weather delay, which horrible mess. But anyway, we'll talk about that in a minute. Let's get to baseball real quick.
Yeah, so WKU baseball, they do have some fall games, and let me pull that up. But usually it's they're playing some Canadian travel team or something like that, or they're playing Brescia or whatever.
You say Russia?
Brescia, or like one of those like Kentucky Wesleyan or some kind of exhibition thing, right? Well, WKU baseball, trying to find it. They play Tennessee in Nashville. That's the major news. I don't know if you had pulled it up yet, man. I'm sorry.
Not yet. I was making some notes on volleyball real quick.
But anyway, they play Tennessee in Nashville at the Sound Stadium, and it's sometime, I believe, in October. So it's coming up pretty soon. Didn't have that pulled up, and I apologize for not having that ready to go. But make sure that you tune in because that's the defending national champion that you're getting to play. In a AAA ballpark. It's the Nashville Sounds Stadium, so that's kind of cool. And you kind of get to see how we might measure up against the nation's best. So I'm really interested to see it. I don't know if we'll be able to go ourselves, but I think people need to know about it. I just want to make sure that we mentioned it.
I'll say this baseball team's doing a really good job. Yeah, I'm pulling it up now. I don't know. My internet's going slow today, but Western's baseball team's doing really good so far. They are playing 6 p.m. October 25th.
Yeah, there you go. I found it too. So reasonable tickets to see a national champion baseball team up against the tops. Obviously, it's fall ball, so it's not anything official or anything like that. But they had a good last couple of years with Coach Mark Raridan. He was in the conversation for like the Ohio State job and everything. So he's starting to get some attention. And I think WKU is looking at knocking on the door of an at-large or maybe winning Conference USA or whatever. So it's building in the right direction. That's obviously a big barometer to see where they might be in the fall. So make sure you check it out. It is on October 25th at 6 o'clock at First Horizon Park. Looks like if you want just kind of regular seating on the concourse, it'd be $20. Club level seats will be $40. So very reasonable to see quality baseball in a really nice setting.
So baseball evidently has this past season had 36 wins, which was the ninth most in program history. That was the most since 2009, which was when us old timers were at WKU, or some of us. Well, you were there, right?
Yeah, I was there.
Okay,
That was my
okay.
second year on campus.
Okay. Yeah, that was like my third. But anyway, and I was there for like 6 more. But anyway, me and Brandon Dowdy. But anyway, let's see. Yeah, so he's actually led WKU to back-to-back 30-plus win seasons. That's the first time since 2010 to 2011. So yeah, this is history in the making. Hopefully, we could get Coach Reardon to stick around, and we can have like a Travis Hudson-esque. It'd be nice to have baseball and volleyball. Then we can maybe move into soccer and basketball, having this dynasty. But I guess we'll jump into football, which is the big news right now. We've got WKU Toledo. I know a lot of you all probably watched a lot of that game. Maybe you were like me and you missed it, part of it because of the weather delay, which was a horrible mess. I will blame everybody else in my text group because I was waiting for them to say something about it. I'm not gonna lie, because I kept checking back. I'd go, I'd do like 15-minute intervals. Go back, watch it. Go back, watch it. Go back. I actually watched a show on HBO called Chimp Crazy. If you haven't seen that, it's like Tiger King and it's just as ridiculous. But anyway, so I was watching an episode of that and had just finished it. And one of our text group was like, "Man, that was a good game." And I was like, "What do you mean?" They were still in weather delay. What's going on with this crap? And then I switched it back and it was like 15 seconds left. So I used like the last 3 minutes of broadcast time to try and go back and watch some of that. And I tried, and I'm going to go back and finish watching the third and fourth quarter there after the show today. But Matt, what were your? I'll tell you. Let me go first, if you don't mind. The first part of the game before the weather delay, I feel like we didn't have our stuff together. Toledo came to play for the most part. They had a lot of things going right for them. Run game, pass game, everything was going pretty well. And they were handling WKU to an extent. Western was doing better. They were starting to kind of turn the corner on getting things working offensively. But, they were still having some struggles. Then we go into the weather delay, and evidently that changed, whether coaches got them talked up or Toledo's muscles got cold. I don't know. What were your thoughts?
I mean, first of all, it was like trying to put it in context of how awesome this game was. I mean, I think it's got to be a top, for sure, 5 LT Smith Stadium memory for me, for sure. Could be higher than that. I mean, it was an amazing game. I was excited about it the whole week. I thought it was going to be really good. I couldn't figure out what I wanted to predict and how I felt about the game. I mean, it was the closest spread ever in the history of the Houch. At least non-conference wise. Very rarely have we ever had an equal group of 5 opponent come in when both teams were good.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a really nice opportunity to kind of see where we stacked up. And the whole game was interesting. I mean, it was kind of a sludge fest for 2.5 quarters, especially from a WKU perspective. You get down 14-0. You did fight back to cut it to 14-7 at halftime, and then you come out into the second half, and it ends up 21-10, and then like we started seeing lightning strike, and we're like, oh, maybe that's heat lightning. It's not supposed to rain. Maybe they won't shut down the game for that. And they just kind of kept coming. It's like, I'm pretty sure that was just lightning. And so whatever it was, 8-13 left or whatever in the third, they were in the middle of the chicken dance. And they just started like motioning to the teams to get off the field or whatever. And so it was really probably confusing for a lot of people. I knew what was going on, but I'm sure everybody was like, what are they doing? And so they announced that it was a lightning delay and we all need to get up in the concourse and all that. And course, personally, it was like figuring out, okay, what are we doing with the kids? Because
Oh
they
my
were
God, that's
possibly
the
not
worst
going to
part.
stay for the whole game anyway. So I walked them to the car, and got them settled in the car, and then went back in the game and whatever. And so it was just this long delay. And then out of nowhere, like Western was not looking like we were going to win this game. Like it felt like Toledo was pretty much in control. We were hanging around, and the scoreboard was close enough. 21
Well, it
10s,
was.
like,
I was gonna say 21-10 when they went in for the weather, but yeah,
yeah. And then they come out and they outscore them 16-0. And then all the crazy stuff that happened within that. I mean, it was just incredible. It
safety,
was, say what?
safety, which is
Yeah.
wild.
I mean, how many games do you have that are two really good teams playing well, defenses are playing well, lots of turnovers, you have a safety, you have back and forth, a bunch of exchanges at the end where you're just like mind boggled what all's going on, a big review that's really controversial that basically shouldn't have happened the way it happened. I mean, there was so much going on. And then even like the nail downs at the end, like that was even intense because like you're on the 1 yard line. It's like, well, hell, if we screw this up, we could lose anyway.
Mm,
If you fumble and the ball goes in the end zone, they recover it, game over.
yeah,
You can't run the ball and whatever. They had 3 timeouts, or they had 2 timeouts when they finally got the ball back the last time. So they had the ability to make you sweat till the final nail down or not even nail down, the final QB sneak. Well, they kneeled down, but it was basically just a little sneak play. And finally the clock ran out, but it was like until 4 seconds on the clock, we didn't
yeah,
know what was going to happen. So it was incredible.
yeah.
And the
It
defense was just, I can't believe how well the defense played.
2 saves, 2 major saves right there in a row. That's what
Yeah.
was
Well, and
crazy.
they did it
Well,
all
not
night.
really in a row, but yeah. But the
They,
biggest two,
they literally won the game for us. Like you talk about, uh, how we possibly win without that defense. They got the safety, and they basically put 3 points on the board by getting that turnover and kicking the field goal because we didn't do
yeah,
jack with that. So there's your 5 point difference, plus forcing several other turnovers. And Toledo gets the ball twice in our territory, and they don't score at the end. Just unbelievable.
yeah,
Can't say enough about it.
yeah. It was wild.
On it.
At least the parts I watched were wild, and I mean, even the defensive, stands. If those go one way or the other, this is a different game and we lose. Really.
Mhm.
It's funny. I was watching the game and it's 21-10 right before the weather delay, and it's one of those where you go, man, I'm glad I didn't bet on this game. And it's like now, looking back at it, you're like, dude. I mean, of course, I don't think Toledo was paying out really well on the money line for Western. I don't remember. I have to see if I can go back and look it up. But um, money line was 2.5. They were giving Toledo 2.5,
Yeah.
which is wild. Stat
It was
wise,
basically a coin flip. Who do you
yeah,
think's going to win?
yeah. Toledo, which by the way, Toledo's 3-0, and it's kind of like I was talking about with your dad. Um, Western had games that kind of deflated our stats.
Mhm.
Alabama deflated us major. It definitely, I guess, depreciated would be a better word for it, but they depreciated our stat values because of how dominated we were. And of course Eastern, helped some of that, but I still think we should have beaten Eastern by more coming into those games. And it's it was they. I think Western, like you said in some of your articles, Western was definitely it was a lot closer game than I think people realized. Um, Caden Veltkamp had a pretty good game. He was 20 for 30 with 242 yards. He did have the one. Did he pass? Did he have a passing touchdown there? Or was that just him running him in?
I think he had,
Oh, he did have a pass. Yeah, he did have the pass in the first
yeah.
or second quarter. My bad. Uh,
Mhm.
to Johnson, he had the pass to
Two
Johnson.
rushing, two rushing touchdowns, one
Yeah,
passing, and two
yeah.
interceptions.
which evidently coaches are happier with him running it. Evidently, are they wanting him to be more mobile quarterback, or is that what your thoughts are, or are they wanting him to just stay in the pocket? I mean, Dowdy was a pocket passer, and it's almost to the point like Austin Reed, I would say, was like a quarter running. Does that make sense? Like it was like, we'd rather you didn't run, but Austin Reed's kind of like, I like to run, and they're like, okay, you do your thing, man. But I don't know. Veltkamp seems like they just want him to run more often, and I don't know. What do you think?
It definitely feels like they're maybe treating him with training wheels still, and I don't know why.
Yeah,
because like they were very, very conservative against Alabama, which I understand. You don't want people to get injured and stuff.
Yeah,
But he threw for 11 yards in over a half. Like you could have turned him a little more loose than that. Like they didn't. It was like they didn't trust him. And then this game
wasn't he the Wildcat quarterback anyway? The Wildcat
well,
quarterback.
that was what we had heard, that he might come in and run some kind of Wildcat or Wild Topper package or whatever you want to call it. But that we never saw that. So I mean, I don't know how much truth there was in that, but I mean, he's more mobile than you would think. Him being 6'6", he can move and he's got some wiggle to him, but he's mainly a pocket passer, and some of those rushes were him being rushed, and he also, he had 3 of those rushes at the end of the game. 4 of them. The one was the fumble, and then 3 other rushes on the kneel down. So that skews those numbers a little bit because we were just trying to run out the clock, and obviously he fumbled one of them. But it skews it a little bit. So it's really only 7 that were legitimate kind of rushes or a sack or whatever. But he's mobile enough, and they certainly could use him. And I think from a WKU perspective, it's always been difficult to cover running quarterbacks. So if you have a quarterback that's a little bit of a threat on the ground, why not use him a little bit? Don't get him killed, but have him be a threat with his legs, and you add another layer that the defense has to worry about. We always have trouble with mobile quarterbacks, and I think everybody does because they just don't know what you're going to do, even if he's not an elite passer, which Veltkamp seems to be pretty solid in the passing game. But turn him loose on the ground a little bit, and you add a whole different dynamic to your offense.
Yeah, we the stats is what's kind of funny to me. Toledo really beat us stat wise. They had more yards than we did, 325, or we had 313. They had less penalties than we did, 8 for 70 yards, and we had 10 for 104. We had more passing yards than they did, and they had more rushing yards than we did, which is pretty standard for Western's air raid. We had 242 passing yards to their 200, and we had 71 rushing yards to their 125. We did have 1 less turnover than they did. They had 2 fumbles lost where we had 1, and they had 2 interceptions where we had 2 interceptions as well. So,
and especially before the lightning break, it was way more pronounced as far as the stats. They were completely they were on pace to get nearly 400 yards, which honestly, I would have signed up for that. If there was anything less than 400 yards, I'm down, considering that we gave up over 500 yards against Middle. Gave up some yardage against Eastern, even though that was a shutout and everything. Then obviously Alabama, they had 600 something yards. So we've been giving up some yardage. So the fact that we held them down to 325 total, especially the first 2.5 quarters, they were on pace to get nearly 400. Like, I'm okay with that. But the offense was on pace to get less than 200 until they restarted, and really didn't even really change that pace until the 4th quarter when they went down and scored. Had a couple drives when they came back that they got a couple first downs. But other than that, it was basically the 2 scoring drives late And that was it for the offense besides nickel and diamond here and there.
Yeah. I tell you something else that's kind of funny. I was just thinking about you talking about middle. Does it seem weird to you that we've already played our rivalry game this year?
I mean,
Kind
middle
of.
usually comes for whatever reason. It's always been scheduled pretty early in the year. Like I
I thought
remember,
it was like around October-ish some years.
yeah. I mean, well, I missed the middle game for my honeymoon. That was in October, so I do remember that. It's usually a little later than. Still hold a grudge.
The things
No,
we
it was
remember,
it was a
yeah.
blowout, so whatever. It was the
Well, okay.
2015 blowout game. It was
Now
like
that you
60
bring
to 6 or something.
now that you bring that up, my wife and I were married September 8th, and I remembered it was Western versus Alabama. That was 2012. Yep,
So
I still remember that because had to have that day. I don't know
yeah,
why.
I
There's no
tried to
significance to her, but anyway.
I tried to schedule the wedding where we had a bye week, and so we would miss no games with everything, and it didn't work out.
My wedding was planned like 3 weeks before time, so it's like okay, whatever. But yeah, let's get into um, WKU Boston College. We played them 9/28. That's Saturday at 12 p.m. I'm guessing that's Eastern time. The game will be on the ACC network if you cannot make it up to the game. And Boston College is pretty legit. They're the sports betting people, Vegas, we'll call them, is giving Boston College 12.5 points. Matt, what are your thoughts on this game?
So I don't know how you want to handle that one. But anyway, so Boston College, I mean, obviously it's interesting because I think when you hear Boston College, you think, oh, they're not that good. They're they're in the ACC, but they haven't really done much lately. And this year, I think they were projected to get maybe 4.5 wins. So it's like, well, shoot, okay, this should be an approachable game. Like we should have a shot here. And as the season's gone on, they're 3-1. They've beaten, Michigan State, which is a solid, decent Power Five win. They're getting votes in the polls. Like they look like a decent ACC team. They're not a pushover. They're probably better than Louisville was when WKU played them a few years ago. So a question in my mind is WKU much better than they were a few years ago when they played Louisville? I think they're better, but how do we compete? How do we stack up athletically? I mean, I looked at Boston College, watched them a few times, and not full games or anything, but just kind of like seeing some glimpses. And they've got some athletes. They've got some ball hawks on defense. I mean, the quarterback is kind of scary. They kind of play a possession game on offense, but yeah, it's a good offense, and the defense is good. They've got good people in the trenches. They're a pretty solid team everywhere. So I'm not sure how I feel yet, but I think BC should be the favorite.
Yeah. Of course, if you bet $10 or $100 on Western, you're going to get 380 back. Um, this could be a good game for Western, and honestly, going into this season, I couldn't tell you the last time Boston College did anything before. I couldn't tell you anything that what Boston College has done since like the early 2000s. So, it was a game early on in the season that you just have no idea really what to expect. And so, with them coming out and, they beat Florida State. Florida State is not the team they used to be. Jimbo Fisher and some of those. Boston College has had that thump game where they beat, was that Decoy? Let's see if I can find who that is. Duquesne Dukes. They are. I'm going to assume they're in the same grouping as Stonehill, Central Connecticut, Robert Morris, Long Island University, Wagner, and Mercyhurst. And let's see here. So they got beat pretty good by them by 56-0. They have lost to Missoula. So Missoula, the Missouri Tigers here, SEC obviously. Missouri Tigers are obviously 1-0. They're 4-0 overall, 1-0 in conference, but obviously they're not going to be contenders in the SEC. But it just goes to show you where Boston College is. I think obviously Boston College is going to be a bowl team, probably a bowl. They're probably going to make a bowl game, but we'll see. I was just talking about the Duquesne Dukes that Boston College took, since somebody had to step out there.
The Duquesne Dukes, huh?
Duquesne Dukes, they played them September 7th. They thumped them 56-0, and then they played Missouri and lost 27-21. And then they played Michigan State, like you were talking about, and won 23-19. This could be a good game. This could be a 28-14 game for Western. What you got?
You really think it's Duquesne?
How would you pronounce it?
Duquesne, man.
What?
Just mess with it. It's Duquesne.
That is not Duquesne.
Yes, it is, man. It's French, bro.
Seriously, is it Duquesne? You messing with me
Duquesne.
now?
No, it's Duquesne. I swear.
That's how you say it, Duquesne. Duquesne. Where is this place at?
Yeah, man. I'm not.
God, we're gonna find this up. I'm gonna find this
I'm
now.
not trying to mess with you, man.
There's no way. This
It's
cannot be
Duquesne. I swear.
Duquesne.
Anyway,
If it's not in Louisiana, it's not Duquesne. I'm just gonna tell you right now. Duquesne.
I'm not trying to give you a hard time, but dude, we got to make sure we say it right.
University. I don't care. They're not going to sue me. Let's see. It's in Pittsburgh. How is it Duquesne?
I swear, man, it's Duquesne.
It's in Pittsburgh. It's got to be like Duquesne. It's Duquesne. Come on now. Let's see. They need a section, how to pronounce our university. Google,
Devin, I'm
save
sorry. Look,
me.
I'm pissing in the middle of the podcast. You're. Oh Lord.
All right, let's see. How do
You were joking.
No, that was Duquesne University. My sound. I'm gonna turn my sound back on. Hold on. I'm gonna turn my sound on. Here we go. This is how Google's gonna say it. Ready? Here we go.
Duquesne University.
Duquesne. All right. So everybody knows I can't pronounce stuff, so it's Duquesne. I swear to God, it looks like
man.
Duquesne.
I'm sorry, man. We got to be somewhat accurate here. I thought you were joking. I didn't know. I thought you were just messing around.
I'm not upset. I'm used to. You should be used to it by now if you've been listening anytime. Duquesne.
This is hard, y'all.
Okay, I'm all right. You see, if we get more patrons, then I will have to learn how to say universities' names like Duquesne University.
So Duquesne is a decent FCS team, just so everybody knows. They're decent, but yeah, it's not like a.
I was like, right now they're fourth in the NEC. I'm assuming that's like Northeast.
I believe so, yeah.
Because you got Central Connecticut in there too, and Long Island University. Evidently, Long Island does a lot of T's. But anyway.
Yes.
Right over there. Okay, anyway, back to football. I haven't watched, like I was saying while Matt was in the restroom. I haven't watched Boston College since like the mid 2000s. I couldn't tell you anything about them. So I'm going to go out on a limb here and I'll say, Western is going to end up, my prediction will be Western loses this one 28-14. I would like to see it. I'd like to see a come from behind victory for Western here. A 30, 32-30 or a 28-30 or something like that. But we are going into a bigger environment here. I would probably compare, what would you say? Boston College would be kind of equivalent to like Virginia Tech-ish, maybe
It's a pretty good
strength-wise.
one. Yeah, I mean, that's a good one. When we played them, especially because they were kind of borderline ranked, and they weren't like invincible though, and their offense wasn't outrageous, but they were a solid team, and we had difficulty with them. So that's a good one.
Well, I mean, another
Really
thing
good
too
comparison.
is they have received some votes for the top 25.
Mm-hmm.
They've gotten like 2 or 3 every a couple weeks here. So
yeah, I believe they're off the top of my head. I think it's 28th in the AP, and I think they're 33rd in the coaches. So
there you
they're
go.
getting votes and getting significant votes. I'd say if they beat WKU and especially if they beat us soundly, I think they would be in the top 25 in the AP. I don't know about the coaches. They have to jump 8 spots to get in the top 25. But they're definitely like one of the top 35 teams in the country right now.
It really wouldn't surprise me after maybe not this week, but next week if they're not ranked. Because they've got us this week. We really don't. I mean, it's not basketball with the net rankings by any means, but we really don't have any impressive wins besides Toledo. But next week they're going to be playing Virginia, and then the following week they got Virginia Tech. So, all right, well, let me back up. On the 17th they got Virginia Tech, so that's going to be like a 2-week. They're going to have a bye week between those two. But, Virginia is third right now, or tied for second with Boston College. That could be the game that pops them into the top 25. If they beat Virginia, they're going to get there. Virginia Tech is floating at the bottom right now. They're 2-2 of the ACC. So after our game, after the Virginia game, I think they could definitely break the top 25 if they continue winning. If they don't, they're not going to get diddly. So, but
That's
anyway,
a good point. Yeah.
so what would your prediction be
ahead.
for this game, Matt?
Yeah, so I'm kind of looking at stuff, trying to figure out what I think of it. Some things that scare me about them is they give up 14, 15 points a game. And they've played like we said, they've played a challenging schedule. They beat Florida State, which we know, nationally, Florida State's not that good. We thought they would be better, but they still beat them 28-13. They killed Duquesne like they were supposed to. They nearly beat Missouri, which Missouri obviously is possibly a playoff team, and they hung right with them, which Missouri hasn't been playing that great. They almost lost to Vanderbilt too, so perspective. But they hung with Missouri, which was fairly impressive, and then they came back against Michigan State, another fairly solid Power 5 team. So I think that they bring a lot to the table. Both teams are 3-1, but clearly Boston College has played the much tougher schedule.
Yeah.
And against that schedule, they're scoring 32 and they're holding opponents to less than 15.
Yeah.
Haven't had any disastrous performances. They haven't gotten blown out. They barely lost one game where they'd be undefeated against a top 10 opponent. So I think we need to keep perspective. I love what Ross, maybe I shouldn't say who because we want to be anonymous.
Well, he's retired.
He's retired. Our fallen brother, Ross Shercliffe, we were talking, and he said that this is kind of a bonus game. That's the perfect way to put it. If Western can win this game, like definitely going to be getting votes in the polls. You're going to be 4-1, and you're staring at this could really be an 11-1 season and college football playoff and all that. If you lose, you're 3-2 like you were supposed to be, or even you could have possibly been 2-3 losing to Toledo and Boston College. Like this is complete bonus.
Yeah.
So I'm not upset if we get kind of blown out. Hopefully it's not like 56-0 or something, but I'm okay with it if this is not the prettiest performance and we lose by a few touchdowns. My personal prediction at the end of the day, I think Boston College is probably going to lead by 3 scores most of the game, but I do think we'll kind of catch a groove and cut it back to maybe 31-20, Boston College.
I mean, dude, that sounds like a pretty bad beating. It's almost like a Diddy party or something.
Say
Hey,
you're lucky that I understood. You got
do
lucky that I understood your pop culture reference, because one time you said Epstein didn't kill himself, and I had to look up what you meant. It was me, you, and Jared. You said something about Epstein didn't kill himself. I'm like, who's Epstein?
Oh my
I'm
God.
like I'm
Well,
like in a hole sometimes. Like I just don't get a lot of the
dude,
references, but I got that one.
say,
I'm aware of this one.
after we played Alabama and lost 63-0, we could have used about 500 of those bottles of lube that Diddy had. Nastiest stuff I've ever heard in my entire life. It was like, good Lord. But
What you
yeah,
want to like to reel it back in a little bit. I mean, what you want to see from a team is like, okay, they were awful against Alabama. It was atrocious, 63-0. It's embarrassing, you know, a national embarrassment on national TV, whatever. Made Alabama look like the best team in the country.
yeah,
Um, and they're obviously good, but not that good. And you start reeling it in, and you've seen improvement. And I think that's something and it's quick improvement. This is early in the season still. We got 8 games left, and you're thinking that WKU is clicking pretty well. You just beat a quality opponent. That's the first time that Tyson Helton's had a big win in September. I don't think he's ever had one that was a significant victory early in the year.
Well, let me ask you something. Does Veltkamp get the job for the rest of the year?
I was wondering if we talk about this. I think it's tough because if everybody knows what's going on in Pittsburgh, the Steelers, Justin Fields and Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson won the job, but he's injured. And Justin Fields has come in, he's doing a good job. They're 3-0. So like Mike Tomlin didn't commit to who would be the quarterback going forward. And I think it's a difficult situation. It's almost the same in some ways. TJ Finley won the job in camp, fair and square. It was close, just like that situation was, but he won it. And so it's kind of hard to just throw it away and just be like, well, TJ, because he's injured, oh, well, Caden is a starter because go Spartans, South Warren pride and local Bowling Green and whatever. But I think if
Jake Omer,
oh my gosh, Finley was in a boot. Like he was in a boot on the sideline. I don't know if they covered that in the game, mentioned it, whatever. He's in a boot. And I wanted to ask you, I'm curious about your perspective because I sent you a text. What does that mean in terms of the injury timeline? Because I think that's part of this. If it's next week.
It depends on like what it is. The boot could just be something for healing as far as something simple like a sprain.
Mm-hmm.
He could have had a bad sprain. He could have had, he could have broke something. I mean, I don't know. It depends on the boot. And so he could have had something as simple as a sprain, and he could have had something as bad as a break. If you got a break, you're at 6 to 8 weeks, if not 8 to 12, depending on where the break is. If it's okay, so it depends on blood supply when it comes to breaks. If this is this foot, and we'll say this is his foot, if it's up in this area, you're going to get a lot more blood. So it heals between 6 to 8 weeks. Ergo, you break your arm, it's not as long. If you break a bone in your foot or your hand, for instance, we had a guy who broke a bone in this part of his hand. When it was said, it took 8 to 14 weeks because of the blood supply to his hand is not as strong as your wrist, your forearm, etc. So, if it's a sprain, it could be out 3 weeks, a month, maybe, and they'll start slowly bringing him back. And depending on like what they do, he could have anything from like a boot tape, which would be like, they tape his ankle, they put a shoe on and then they tape his shoe up too. So essentially he's going to be walking around with like a peg foot. He's not going to get a lot of flexion out of it. Afterward, and that's more preventative stuff. But, it depends on like how everything plays out. And I don't know, like you're talking about Veltkamp and Finley, who's going to play. I didn't really see a lot out of Finley. At Alabama, you would think that he would have been a lot calmer under pressure, whereas I didn't get that feeling.
That's fair.
He was. I won't say he was scared. I'd say he was shook. That's the best way to put it. He wasn't scared, but I think he was shook at Alabama. I think he rushed a few things that he shouldn't have rushed. And of course, this is just me being an armchair coach. I think he rushed a few things he shouldn't have rushed. I think he may have waited a little too long on other things, yada, yada, yada. But I think best case, worst case, I think you got to let Caden take the ball right now. See how he does. If he's successful, I think you let it ride.
Yeah.
I know it's not what Finley came here for, but I don't think we need another year like with Piggy. Just saying.
Yeah, but the injury stuff is really interesting. I'm glad you shared that. I think the guy's in a boot, so I don't think there's any way that it's anytime within the next few weeks. The reason I kind of asked that is like it gives Caden a chance to establish why he should be the starter. If he's excellent and the offense is humming, that's way different than if he's kind of borderline and then you bring TJ back and it's like, God, we really missed him,
Yeah.
So far he's got 11 yards against Alabama. He's got the Toastery Bowl. He's got a really nice performance against MTSU. And then he's got this one that he, had 3 turnovers. So in my opinion, there's a mixed bag of his results. And there's 2 really good ones and 2 really bad ones. Or not great. The Toledo was not great because he made so many mistakes and really important ones, like at the end of the game where you can't, and he did it. And then Alabama was horrible. 11 yards, even if they had, training wheels on them, surely you could come up with more than 11 yards in 2.5 quarters. But
unless they're not calling plays for you.
Dan, I'm not blaming it on him 100%, but it just wasn't a good indication of things. I think that he should get a few weeks, and if he does a good job, then I don't think you can give the job back to TJ. We saw a full game with TJ against a opponent that we should have dominated more, and it was 31-0 against EKU, mainly because the defense did a good job. And then you see Caden against an FBS opponent, comparable opponent again, and you nearly score 56 points. Score 49, and it was way more explosive and all that. So I think he's got the upper hand now. I think he probably should play. But if he is not great the next few weeks and TJ's healthy, I think don't be surprised if TJ ends up starting again at some point.
My thing is with Finley and Veltkamp, I think you've got to reassess it when Finley's healthy.
Mm-hmm.
Hypothetically speaking, you don't want to get into season. You don't want to get into conference play, and it's like, well, we got to make a switch. Finley's back, and then you were going to throw everybody out of sorts. What if Finley is a step faster than Veltkamp on this play? Okay, well, it's going to screw up the timing on the running back. It's going to screw up the timing on the offensive line. For instance, we're doing an RPO. Finley runs over there to do, to judge, hey, do I need to pass? Do we need to do this run, or am I going to pull it and try and go for a pass? And hypothetically speaking, running back doesn't get there in time for the fake. And it's like, well, I guess this is going to leave us wide open for this. Hypothetically speaking, what I'm saying is like the offense's timing may be off if we just jump into somebody else because of who it is. But and
I agree
let's
with
just,
that.
and I think maybe we have another quarterback battle in midseason whenever Finley gets back. I don't know.
Say, you kind of got to quote unquote make it an open competition when he comes back because it was his job before. But I think
Yeah.
Caden gets the tiebreaker now if
Yes.
he's been excellent and if he's been incredible. Like you kind of can't bench him at this point.
Well, and the flip side of it is too, Finley has had like 4 years of playing essentially,
Mhm.
at least 4 years in college football, and at different levels. How many games has Veltkamp had in college? 4, 5, 6?
4, and he started one. He's only started one so far.
Yeah, exactly. That says a lot right there to me. This
Mhm.
kid he's still green. He's still green under the collar. You gotta let it ride, I think, a little bit.
Yeah. I think also a factor here is the style of quarterback too. Like, I think they say that TJ and Caden are similar, but in some ways they're not. I think TJ would fit more in more traditional offense or like an RPO type of offense.
Yeah.
I think Caden has the potential to be more explosive. When you run an air raid offense, he's going to be the more likely guy to get your offense to 40, 50 points. TJ is going to make some mistakes. He's going to be inaccurate at times. He's going to make some boneheaded plays. He's going to draw some sacks that he probably shouldn't have had. The reason he got hurt is because he made a mistake and got himself killed and got himself wrapped up in a defender when his reaction was not the correct one. And so he had a few of those plays that he created for himself. The interceptions against Alabama, in my opinion, they both were poor. Tyson said one of them was not his fault. I don't buy it. He threw late over the middle. That was the one that he said was not his fault. I don't buy that. And then the other one was just throwing it straight to a guy that was standing there. So there's some of that TJ is going to do, but also his arm is unbelievably strong. I mean, he has so much superior in that one spot. But I think that Caden fits the style better. He's also going to have the chemistry and all that. So I think at the end of the day, like it should be pretty much Caden's job unless he kind of screws it up here. And maybe TJ comes back and he's really killing it and looking great in practice and everything. Then I think they would consider it if Caden is not great. But if Caden's great, I think it's his job at this point. That's my answer.
I think you're right. Like I said, I think he's green under the belt and under the collar, and I think it is. I think it's his job to lose at this point, unless something crazy happens. Unless we get into law, tech, liberty, etc., and he starts throwing. He threw 2 or 3 interceptions, and then it's like, hey, Finley's right there. He needs to go in. We need to change something up. We got to do something else here.
Good example would be Dowdy. He came in, K1 was the more experienced player, and obviously Dowdy is the better prospect, the one with the higher end possibilities, but K1 was experienced. And what happened when Dowdy came in against Navy? He came in and like the first chance he got himself injured because of a silly kind of freshman decision to
I think he
stopped
blew his
on the
knee out.
sideline. Yeah, he blew his knee out because he stopped on the sideline instead of running out of bounds.
Yeah.
So, like, my point is, if Caden starts showing signs of that kind of young freshman type of sophomore, young guy kind of crap that he, makes some mistakes, does some silly stuff. We haven't seen him start but one game, and the offense was horrible for 2.5 quarters. So we don't have film experience to know what he's going to do when he starts in college and how he's going to handle things when he deals with adversity. Let's see.
Well, you and I disagree on K1. I think if Dowdy had not gotten injured, K1 wouldn't have started that entire year. I'm just gonna say it.
No, I don't think so either. But what Brandon did, the reason that he got himself injured and had all that rehab, He may have blown out his leg on something else, but what I'm saying is he stopped on the sideline, like planted his foot, and it was straight, and the guy fell into his knee, and that's how he blew out his ACL.
If I remember right, I think you were on that sideline, so I didn't even see that injury. I never saw it. I just know
He should have
it
run
was
out of
it
bounds.
was literally it was literally like a first play though.
Yeah.
It was at least the first series of his start, and he goes in there and he's like, whoop, and it's like, mother trucker, what is going on with this?
Yeah,
Like,
because
well,
he came
K1's
in
back.
against somebody and was great as a sub, and then he starts and he did that, and it wasn't like I wasn't like, oh my God, Brandon, you idiot, but it was just like that wasn't self-preservation, that wasn't a good decision, and it cost him his leg, it cost him his ACL.
Yeah. He had a peg leg for the rest of his career. Yeah.
Well, he was
I'll see his leg
and scared to do anything for 2 years after he blew out his leg. So,
Yeah, well, yeah. But anyway, so just so you all know, just to recap here, volleyball plays Jackson State at Jackson State, 6 p.m. Central Time on the 27th. So that'll be in a couple days. Baseball is the 25th of October at First Horizon Park. That's also at 6 p.m. Central, and that is against Tennessee, the defending world heavyweight champions of the world. Just making a note there. And Western WKBU football will be playing Boston College this coming Saturday, and that game is at 12 p.m. on the ACC network. So definitely check that out. That is Eastern time as well. Another shout out to our newest patron, George Pennington. We appreciate your support, buddy. And if you would like to support us as well, you can go to patreon.com/RedOUT Podcast and look for the white squirrel. And, if you want, you can support us there. We appreciate it. If you'd also like to support us, you can do the Aurora sponsor. We appreciate that as well. So as always, guys, check back next week. Hopefully we'll have a little better schedule and getting these episodes out to you. But as always, guys, go Tops.
Tops.